guys, welcome. Thank you for coming in today. And so today we're going to talk about anxiety. But first, we're going to go over our group rules. So who can tell me what's the first one?
Whatever you say here, stay. Whatever you say here, stays here.
Perfect. And what else?
Unless you want to harm yourself or someone, or you actually want to
Or danger. Right? So what you say here stays here unless you want to harm yourself, harm somebody else, or if you're in danger. Right? Otherwise, what you say here stays here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about anxiety. So the first session we kind of talked about anger, right? And what do we do when we get angry and how we can express ourselves. And then we talked about bullying, because bullying makes us angry and upset. But now I want to talk about anxiety. So anxiety, yes dear? I'm going to explain it right now. Anxiety is that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when you're scared about something or you're stressed about something. It's that feeling that you get, and sometimes it makes your heart race, and sometimes it can make you sweaty. Have you ever felt that before? Where you get kind of nervous? That's anxiety. Yes.
Like my friend, she told me she almost got hit by a car because she's crossing the road, and she said she felt like she had anxiety.
That can cause anxiety. Sometimes if you're getting ready for a spelling test, does that ever give you anxiety? Because you have spelling tests. You have spelling tests too in kindergarten? Yeah.
I'm studying.
Oh.
I'm on my second one.
Does that give you a little anxiety? Like,
Because I just wanted to bring a toy.
yeah, you just want to bring a toy. Does the toy help you calm down?
Because she brings the toy whenever she does the spelling test.
Okay, so a toy helps you calm down? Okay, good. So we're talking about what is anxiety. So what are some other things that give you anxiety? So we talked about tests. What else? What's something that...
Well, what else could give you anxiety is like when you're starting a new class.
Uh-huh.
You get anxiety because there's all sorts of new people, new teachers,
Yeah, that's a really...
new places that you've got to get used to.
That's a really good example
Or
of
like
anxiety.
new changes.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? Can you think of another thing that causes you some anxiety?
Sometimes my first trying to talk about it, I thought I was gonna fall off because how short the thing was. Because
The railing on the side?
when I lied, and sometimes I fall off.
Oh, so that gave you some anxiety? Oh. Yeah, and you know what gives me some anxiety? Whenever I have to go to a job interview. Do you know what a job interview is? Job interview is when you go and you meet potential employers, and you have to sit down and they ask you questions, you have to answer them, and they look at your resume and your application and everything, and that gives me a little bit of anxiety. I kind of get all freaked out before the meeting. So there's lots of things that can cause anxiety, right? Maybe before you go on a roller coaster, do you ever get that kind of like, that feeling? Yeah?
I get goosebumps, and especially when, like that one in Disneyland, when they have that big one, it's moving. I got
The one in
bad
Disneyland?
anxiety on that one.
Oh, but once it's over, you know, once you go through it, are you better?
Your heart's beating still really fast, but you feel better.
Okay, good. So let's talk about, first we're going to watch this video, and then we're going to talk about some different ways to handle anxiety. Okay? Yep, video time. You probably know this video already, so we're going to play it.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I do. I remember this one. I watched it when I was little.
Sometimes the monster that's inside you is a monster that is mad. It's a monster who is angry. It's a monster who feels bad. When your monster wants to throw things and your monster wants to shout, there's a way to calm your monster and chill your inner monster out. This is how you do it.
Can we do it with her? Yeah.
Monster may appear at any time and any place, and that my monster will make you make a bad monster face. He makes you wanna push, he makes you wanna shove. There's a way to calm that monster, bring out the monster love. And now I feel like myself again. Everybody just everybody just
So what do you think? Yes, Leah.
I thought that it's like part of the math solution because one of the rules was, well, something that you should be able to do because it's really easy. Just breathe.
Mm-hmm. So it helps. We talked about anger before. Would that belly breathing help you calm down? Do you think the belly breathing will help with anxiety too? Like if you're getting anxious about something before a test, you can go, right? Just kind of calm yourself down. So let's try that. Ready? Okay, we're going to all do it together. Ready? So get your belly. Feel better? Does that help you feel better?
I had a little anxiety when we just began.
You had a little anxiety when we first began. Is it all gone now?
Yeah.
You breathe through it? You feel better? Good. Good. So, what do you think maybe are some other things we can do about anxiety? Like if you're really worried about a test and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so worried about this test. What am I going to do? What do you think we can do for it?
Maybe you could talk to a friend about it.
Yeah.
Or you could either just take a nap, but not at school.
Not at school.
Like if you were getting a new dog, you'd have anxiety and see, what will my dog do to me? I don't know what my dog will look like. So you just take a little nap before you do it.
So you're right. So maybe getting a good night's sleep, right? Going to sleep when your mom and dad tells you that it's bedtime. Going to bed when you're supposed to. What about studying? If you study for the spelling test, will you be more prepared?
Yeah, but you'll still have anxiety.
You'll have a little bit of anxiety, but if you study for tests, you'll be more prepared so that you won't have as much anxiety because you're like, I know these words, I can do it. I can do my science test. I already know all about dinosaurs, right? Is that what you're studying right now, right? Dinosaurs?
I'm off of that, but
Oh,
I was last.
You were studying dinosaurs,
But I was very, very anxious to try dinosaurs, but once I started, I was on Team Velociraptor.
Team
And when
Velociraptor.
I was on the Velociraptors. I had tons of anxiety because we had to write a whole thing about our dinosaur.
And what helped you get through it?
Well,
Did Mrs. Loper come and explain how to use the technology, right?
yes,
That helped you
we
kind of get
used
through it.
computers, and that made me have even more anxiety. And Mrs. Lofer came in and helped me,
Mhm.
and then we did it on the other computers, and we finally got it ready for
Mhm.
open house.
What about you, Bree? What did you just finish studying?
Seahorses?
Seahorses. Yeah. Did you have to do a report on seahorses?
I have to write sentences about them.
You did. Did you get really anxious about writing your sentences?
Not really.
Not really.
Because I only had 3 good ones.
So you were already prepared. Good. So is there anything else at school that makes you feel anxious?
Sometimes when I'm going to a new school, it kind of makes me anxious because all the new people,
New classrooms.
the new teachers, but this time I was hardly nervous because a teacher that I already knew.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then we're about to finish the school year, right? And then you'll start a new class next year. So, hang on 1 second, we'll talk in just a second. So let's recap. Let's talk about everything we talked about already. So we talked about what anxiety was. Remember that weird feeling sometimes you get before a test or some new situation. We talked about what are some ways that we can calm our anxiety. You said talking to a friend.
Yeah.
Good, kind of expressing your fears.
Expressing your feelings make you get rid of that anxiety, madness, sadness.
Good. What about
You can breathe.
you can breathe.
Like
Good.
the belly.
The belly breathing. Good. And then what's another? Remember, we get a good night's sleep. And also, if you know that something's going to come up, like a spelling test or a science test, you can study for it. Have your mom and dad help you study for it so you'll be more prepared and so you'll have a little less anxiety about it.
My mom doesn't.
Not really.
Your mom doesn't?
Mm-mm.
Doesn't what?
She doesn't study with me.
Oh, okay.
I study on the computers at school,
Oh.
books at the library. I don't need help at home because I've already got all the information in my head. Books,
Okay.
computers.
Okay. All right, girls. Thank you so much for coming in today. It was a great session. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.